In the middle of the next page, Mikolot Maim Rabim. Mikolot Maim Rabim. Adirim Mishpreyam. Adir Bamarom. Adonai. Adir Bamarom. Adonai. Eidotecha nemnu meod. Levetecha navakodesh. Adonai leorech yamim.
Healer of the brokenhearted on page 113.
We take this moment to think about the people in our community who maybe need refuah shlema, a healing of body, a healing of spirit, a healing of soul. And thinking of the people across this country who maybe feel like they need a physical healing. Healer of the brokenhearted, binder of their wounds, counter of uncountable stars, you know who they are. Harofei lishveilehem, umchabesh leatzvotam, mone mispar lekochavim, lekulam shemot yikra. And if there's someone in particular whose name you'd like to bring into this space, I invite you to. And we all sing.
Shabbat Shalom. What wonderful, just beautiful energy in the room. I'm very grateful for that. So this is the moment when we'd love to hear if there are new people in the room or on Zoom. You could put your, are we on Zoom, Nate? Are we good on Zoom? In the room.
If you're on Zoom, you can just pop your name in the chat and you can say your name, and if this is your first time here, also like where you're Zooming from,
Exactly.
if my mother has messaged you yet, the usual.
So Jackson will take the microphone around. If anyone would like to introduce themselves, they're new, you're new, or you haven't been here in a long time, or maybe you haven't been here since pre-pandemic times.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, if you could stand up, that would make it easier.
I'm Don Perlstein, and I feel like I've been here many times. I've been on the Zoom room, but this is the first time for us in the room.
We do know that name, Perlstein.
Yes, there is a relationship. I'll let you guess what it is. We're delighted to be here with all of you in 3 dimensions.
Wow.
And we're actually quite overwhelmed. I think I can speak for both of us to be here with you. So thank you.
And I'm Nancy Sable, and I ditto. It's a great joy and blessing to be here in person.
Welcome, welcome. Remind me where you're from.
Massachusetts,
That I knew. Where?
Acton.
Welcome, welcome. Other Acton people.
Fans of Acton.
Fans of Acton. Anyone else who would like
We
to
always
say
welcome
hello?
Our Joseph S. Ingber parents.
Yes.
Anyone. We have like 5 minutes set aside for this, so if people don't introduce themselves, I will just talk for 5 minutes. Oh, perfect.
It just takes a while for people to get warmed up.
Hi, Shalom.
Shalom.
Ariel from Israel. Now I work in Hillel in State College in Penn State. And in the last minute, Friday, 6 p.m., right now to come to the synagogue, and I'm very enjoyed from this place. Thank you so much for warm welcoming, and Shabbat Shalom.
Wonderful.
Shalom.
Welcome, welcome.
The circle makes this a longer walk.
Yoni Fisher, my wife Jordana. We're here from North Carolina. I was with all of you many years ago, and was so taken by it that I told my aunt and uncle who live over on 105th and West End, I was like, you've got to go to this place. So Eve and Sam Beller had come before.
Nice.
And we're here visiting them and my son Aiden, who lives here. So thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Well, welcome back. Welcome and welcome back.
Shalom.
Valerie. No? Oh, okay.
Hi, I just want to say hello again. I moved to Virginia about 2.5 years ago. Deanna Ostrower. And I'm thrilled to be here. And every time I come into New York City, I stay with my dear friend Valerie, and we come to Romemu, and I love it. Thank you.
You are missed, and it's great to have you back.
Anyone else? Is there anyone on the Zoom?
There's a Zoom community. Wonderful. Anyone new in Zoom?
Not a touch screen. Nate, could you press the chat and see if there's anyone new? All right. Shabbat Shalom from California, Jackson's mom and dad. Nice. They're driving right now, so we can have a conversation about that. Daniel, hello from Crown Heights, originally from Scotland.
Nice.
Asher Chaim says Shabbat Shalom. Jamie says Shabbat Shalom. Jamie's in Philadelphia? Baltimore. South of here. And Eva says, Iva. Sorry, everyone. Says greetings from Lenape lands. Anyone else who's here for the first time? Also, if you just want to keep putting in the chat, if you didn't make it somehow into this part of the discussion. We'll get back to you. And if there's
Okay.
anyone else, last chance.
Okay, so some announcements. So every week, we have services, 6 o'clock Friday night, but you know that already. Tomorrow, 8:45 a.m., open book, and there's some brave people who come out early in the morning to study the Parsha. 10 a.m. tomorrow, Shabbat morning services. And then Sunday, December 4th, the last supper, 2 p.m. last meal served through Romemu Mandala Cafe Community Kitchen Family Day. And then there is a winter outwear collection and distribution. Donate your winter outerwear drop-in collection bins during Shabbat. You can bring your coats tomorrow at the Romemu Center. Monday, December 5th, there's going to be a program called Alternatives to Incarceration, Increasing Public Safety Through Teshuvah, through repentance, online and on site at the Romemu Center. Tuesday, December 13th at 7 p.m., Understanding, Transforming an Evening with Roots. And this is in partnership with B'nai Jeshurun. Join us for an intimate, in-person and online conversation with Palestinian and Israeli peacemakers. Save the dates. Rabbi Zach Fredman and members of the Epi Chorus will be returning to us on Friday night, December 9th. Whoever has heard them, I think it was last week, they're amazing. So come and join us on that night. Pre-Hanukkah Community Shabbat Dinner, Friday, December 16th. Seekers and Family Hanukkah Celebration, Monday, December 19th. There's going to be a quiz after this, so I hope you're listening. Community Hanukkah Celebration, which I know will be wonderful, on December 21st. And finally, Asylum Seekers Relief Fund. Join Romemu and the parents of PS 145 in supporting asylum seekers in our community. Learn more at romemu.org. Those are our announcements. And I think we are now ready for the community call to prayer. If you could stand, and we're on page 31.
תמלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוכה שכינה. Continue on page 36.
Page 36.
Across space and time and soul have you loved and taught us for wisdom, it's for reaction, laws, traditions, statutes, and justice.
ואחדך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Page 37 for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Page 39.
ואהבת את אדוני
אלוהיך בכל לבביך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך בים.
Continue on page
אם שמעו
41
לשמוע
in English or in
תוצאי
Hebrew.
אשר אנוכי מצווכם היום ליבוא בית לכם לטובו לכם ולכל נפשכם.
Guard yourselves lest your hearts be seduced and you turn and serve alienated gods and bow down to them. And the well of life will be wounded and will close up the sky so that there is no rain and the earth will yield no harvest. And you will be lost from the good land that the well of life is giving you. Put these words on your hearts, on your souls. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and let them dangle between your eyes.
ראו בנים את גבורתו, שבחו והודו לשמו. On top of page 48, ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל, לכענו שירה בשמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם מי כמוך, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, באלים אדוני, מי כמוך, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נהדר בקודש, נורא, נורא, תהילו, תהילו, ונאמר כי ודע אדוני את יעקב וגואלו מעט חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Hashkivenu on page 49.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו ושלום בהעמידנו מלכנו לחיים.
Raise us up to life, round our wings, spread over us with the kindness of help us
ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום אתה ועד עולם, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ועל ירושלים.
Please stand for the Vishamru on page 52.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקדושה לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה can be found.
Options for the silent Amidah are on page 53, and the traditional Amidah starts on 58.
Shalom, Shalom, Roma, Yaseh, Shalom, oh, say Shalom, Shalom, Roma, Yaseh, Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. Be'al Yisrael, be'al kol yoshtei tevel. Other people hear that, right?
That really worked, Jackson. This is a kind of a lively group tonight. The echo is something else. I thought I knew what life was all about as a young adult, and even an older young adult. I thought it was about achievement, mastery, accomplishment, intellect. And then I had children. A daughter, and then another daughter and a son, twins. When my children were young, very young, I discovered that my eldest daughter and my son had significant disabilities. At age 6.5, my son lost most of his capacity to speak. And well, my heart, it broke. It was then that the axis of my identity turned. I no longer knew who I was. No longer could I live life grounded in achievement and accomplishment, at least not in any conventional sense. That was not to be the story of my family. This week's Torah portion, Toldot, portrays our foremother Rebecca in existential crisis. She also thought life would be one way and then suddenly realized it wouldn't be that way at all. And that realization also came with her emerging identity as a mother. Rebecca was pregnant with twins. And finally, after 20 years of barrenness, she became pregnant. But there's a problem with her pregnancy. As it says in Genesis 25, verse 22, Vayitrotzatsu habanim b'kirba. Everett Fox, in his translation of the 5 books of Moses, translates these words as, but the children crushed one another inside her. The word for crushing is vayitrotzatsu. It is a reflexive verb whose root is ratzatz, resh, sadi, sadi. That word is related to the word larutz, or roots, meaning to run, but it has a different root and it connotes violence. Looking through the biblical concordance, I discovered that the root occurs 19 times and means crushed, oppressed, bruised, break, crack into pieces. The ancient rabbis pick up the violent inflection of this word and tell us what was happening in Rebecca's pregnant belly, describing the two fetuses like this. This one ran to kill this one. This one ran to kill that one, and that one ran to kill this one. Ze ratz laharog et ze, v'ze ratz laharog et ze. No wonder Rebecca has an existential crisis in response, saying to herself, Im ken lama ze anochi. If so, why do I exist? That crisis drives her to seek God. Vatelech lidrosh et Adonai. Those 5 words that expresses Rebecca's existential crisis, Im ken lama ze anochi, are a bit strange. There are a number of ways we can interpret them. Some read it like Everett Fox, if so, why do I exist? And others, like my friend and colleague, Rabbi John Spira Sivet, says that one might sort of drop the punctuation and stop thinking that this is a normal sentence. And instead, he says, it's an expression of shock coming out in a series of short, breathless, staccato words. If so, why? This? Me? Others read it as simply, what the hell? Or why is this happening to me? Our ancient rabbis interpret it using story, midrash, saying that it refers to the pain of pregnancy, telling us that in response, Rebecca goes out to seek the women in her community and asks them, did you suffer so much in your time? If the pain of children is so great, would that I had not become pregnant. Whatever Rebecca is experiencing, the visceral sense of the fetuses crushing one another challenges the very ground of her identity, the very meaning of her being on earth, her purpose, her mission in life. But what exactly is it that is happening within her growing belly, that would lead her to have an existential crisis? I believe the answer lies in the word vayitrotzatsu, meaning, as I mentioned before, crushing, oppressing, bruising, breaking into pieces. Remember that Rebecca is the first person of any gender in the Torah who goes to seek Adonai, who goes out to seek God. And the rabbis call her a prophet. And perhaps she is a prophet, understanding that her very body has implications beyond herself as an individual. Her own experience means more than just the story of her own life. Her prophetic understanding takes her back to a time, to a story in which Cain kills Abel, and Ishmael mocks Isaac, and Ishmael is kicked out of the house by Sarah and Abraham and almost dies of thirst in the desert. And maybe her vision goes forward, and she sees that even with her help, Jacob will trick Esau out of the blessing and dupe his poor, blind father, and that Joseph's brothers practically murder him and sell him into slavery. And Jacob's heart breaks when he believes he has lost his favorite son. Rebecca understands this viscerally with her very body, this crushing, this bruising, this breaking. She understands that she's ensconced in a story of sibling rivalry and favoritism, and worse, of violence, of oppression, in which brothers cannot exist peaceably, in which family members crush, bruise, and break each other. She understands that she will play an integral role in this story of competition. And this is not the life she wanted. This is not the life she planned on. This is not what she thought family was about. This is not why she left Haran. She imagined, right, she would marry the love of her life and have a wonderful family and bring up children who loved one another, but that was not to be. Not this violence, not this crushing, not this terrible breaking. If this is, what does her life mean? What is her identity? What is her purpose? Where will she ground her being as a mother, as a parent, as a human being? So what does Rebecca learn when she goes to inquire of God? Well, it's a strange message that she hears. Vayomer Adonai la, God says to her, Shnei goyim bevitnech, there are two nations in your belly. Ushnei lu'mim mime'ayach. Sorry, there are two nations in your belly and another word for nations in your belly, and they will divide. Ula'om mil'om ye'ematz v'rav ya'avod sa'ir. And tribe shall be mightier than tribe. Elder shall be servant to younger. So she's looking for a message that will resolve her existential crisis. And instead, she gets a message of dominion and domination. The older will serve the younger. How in the world does this terrible message help Rebecca? The message of dominion seems to actually confirm the tragic message that Rebecca understood from the experience of her body, the experience of being pregnant, the embodied experience of Vayitrotzu. Rather than offer any solace or redemption, it underscores that her children will crush one another, breaking one another into pieces. How in the world does this help? Maybe what God is telling Rebecca is not an easy message. Maybe what God is telling Rebecca is that right now, this is the way of the world, that even with the violence and domination, find meaning, find purpose despite that fact or with that fact. This is the way it is, so find a different way to fulfill your mission. And maybe that harsh divine message does help Rebecca because she goes on. She remains a woman of agency. She goes on to live with a driving force, to make a difference, even if we might not consider her way, that of deception and duplicity, the best way. I believe that Rebecca's question, if this, why am I, or why are we, echoes for us at this very moment. If we live in a world We're in a safe haven in Colorado Springs for queer and trans people and their allies, people who are celebrating, connecting, and tending bar and just being who they are gunned down or go to work at Walmart at the night shift in Virginia and are gunned down before their friends. And one witnesses 6 of one's friends dying before them. If when going to school, children cannot be safe and have to hide in bathrooms and closets and locked classrooms and hear gunshots and watch their friends die, then we must ask, why this, us? Why are we? Why are we? How can we be in this story? I will tell you, even though my story is a small one, given the collective, that what I discovered, the oracle I heard through my children, was that life is not about mastery and accomplishment and achievement and intellect. Or to be a little bit more honest, it's not only about those things. It's about connection and vulnerability and imperfection and protecting one another and seeing vulnerability, and instead of mocking it, keeping one safe, no matter what their gender, religion, lack of gender, color, ethnicity, we can go on and on. No matter what kind of human being, what iteration of the divine image you are on this earth. My understanding that being human involves accepting profound imperfection in myself and in my children expanded my life, expanded my world, and expanded my heart. My purpose grew, and for that I was grateful. So how can this apply to us? How might this apply to us right now? What might we be listening for? There is, of course, no easy answer, but I want to say 2 things. This is our world. We cannot wish it away. As much as denial is so powerful and so attractive, right? We're staring this right in the face, and perhaps denial is fed by the fact that we keep hearing it again and again. Those gunshots so close, but at a distance. We cannot let the violence drive us to a passive despair. In that, Rebecca can serve as a model. And second, the wisdom I've learned from my own children, coming to understand that the heart of being human is vulnerability, that domination is no longer the way, that achieving power over another is a way that only leads to crushing and bruising and breaking into pieces. Humanity is defined historically by war and power over one another, the quest to be invulnerable. To be human is to build empires, to be masterful, to enslave, to have dominion. And through those beliefs and those values, we've destroyed the planet upon which we live. We've repeatedly destroyed one another in war and mass shootings. We have crushed, we have oppressed. I wonder if it is possible that we might have the capacity to stand in the undeniable truth of who we are in all our vulnerability, all our frailty, our imperfection, our disability, commanded to protect the stranger, the terribly vulnerable, to ensure that each of us, no matter who we are, is treated as an image of the divine. We are commanded to see the beauty and not to destroy, to rise up hand in hand as we are, as weak, as blind, as impaired, as confused, as scared as we are, knowing that we are completely reliant on one another, grateful to stand before you. In all our painful limitations, we are grateful for this terrible, wonderful, horrible, beautiful, imperfect, perfect, magnificent, and ruined human condition.
that in mind, we turn towards Aleinu, it's upon us. Think about the ways not that we're perfecting the world, but perhaps just making it ever so slightly a little bit better for those that follow us. You can find Aleinu on page 78. Please rise. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, lateish gila liotzer
Reishi
Shelo asanu ilye haratzon, velo samanu kemishpachot adama, shesam chelkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu.
Hashevota
Kaddish will be on page 116. I want to mention community members who have lost loved ones in the past week or week and a half. Nehemiah Bar Yehuda lost his beloved brother. Anna Louisa Weckman just lost her beloved father, and Karen Beckman lost her beloved mother. I'd also like to read the names of the victims in Colorado Springs, the way the police department identified them. Raymond Green Vance, he, him. Kelly Loving, she, her. Daniel Aston, he, him. Derek Rump, he, him. Ashley Paw, she, her. And also 5 of the 6 victims, the 6th was a minor, a 16-year-old boy. In the Virginia Walmart, identified as Lorenzo Gamble, Brian Pendleton, Kelly Pyle, Randall Blevins, and Tynika Johnson. Please rise if you are saying Kaddish, have a yurt site, and if it is your custom to rise to support the mourners. Page 116.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divirach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon u'v'yom echon u'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'bizman ka'ariv v'imru.
Amen.
Amen.
Yehi Shmei Rabbah Barach Olam Le'olam Maya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei d'kudshav
Brichu.
le'ela mikol birchata b'shirata tushvechata v'nechemata da'amiran ve'alma v'imru
Amen.
Yehesh lama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru.
Amen.
May their memories be a blessing.
Do you want to say Kiddush?
Okay. What is that? Let me just say some thank yous before we say Kiddush. Thank you so much to our wonderful drummer, Shoshana Jedwab, and our incredible Joseph S. Ingber. Is it Joseph? Is it S or
Joseph
I?
S. Ingber, Rabbinic Fellow.
Rabbinic Fellow, Jackson Mercer, soon to be Rabbi. Nate on sound. Victor Ramirez behind the scenes, leading maintenance. And our Zoom moderator, Jeff? Jeff or Anna.
Both.
And we wish a rufu ashlema to Jeff, who is a little bit ill this week. Did I forget anybody?
You.
Yeah, Rabbi Diane.
Thank you, Rabbi Diane.
Who's going to be leading Open Book tomorrow morning?
I am.
8:45.
Absolutely,
So
8:45.
What a great way to
In the
thank-
room and on Zoom
In the room and on Zoom with the owl.
with the owl.
The owl.
The owl is
If
this
you don't
It's a
know,
machine,
you
it's
should,
a
no, don't tell
machine.
them. Just,
It's a
you have to- You have to
machine
come and find out.
that,
to come
yes,
and
you have to
find
come and find it. It's a very sensitive bird in the middle of the room.
All right, I invite you to stand. We're on page 88. Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzevam vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mekol melachto asher asa vayevarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. סברי חבריי. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן.
Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצבנו, בשבת קודשו באהבה ורצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית. כי הוא יום תהילה למקראי קודש, לזכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, מכל העמים, ושבה קודשך, באהבה ורצון, הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש
Forgot to say, I think there's a kiddush downstairs. So join us.
Oh, say shalom b'mroma. Say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. Yai da 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 da
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.